Hello again. Another Q&A for Wednesday. Bella and I are hiding from the hens. They're chasing us all around the garden for extra food, but never mind. So Monica has written in on an email saying she hopes we are well. Home embroidery is getting better, but going round a curve, she still has a problem with the blue line showing around the edge. Well, Monica, go back over the blue line, keep stitching layer upon layer until you get rid of that blue line. Always think of stitching beyond the line, just over it, not to it. Otherwise you get that awful 5 o'clock shadow. So she's saying that she's noticed in my videos I use a double thread and she's only been using a single thread. That's fine, either or, but just keep going with more layers of stitching, either in single or in double. I tend to use a double thread for the first layer of stitching going around the edge, and then if it's not correct, go round with a single thread. Watch the videos going down over the unicorn rump if you've been watching those ones. And she asked if I've heard of a stately home with crewel work done by NADFAS. I've been involved in one or two of those with curator and conservator friends, and they're all over the place. These replicas, I think we ought to make sure they're dated, just in case people confuse them with the proper antique ones. Right, okay, somebody called Laura Yantek, Jacobean fantasy kit advice. We are selling a lot of those. Hi Philippa, love the hen updates on Instagram. I've recently bought Jacobean fantasy kit and 2 days ago finally got over the fear of a fresh linen piece and have begun stitching. I have a question. I've done the seed pods, but then I'm instructed to go to the other side of the piece to work the flower. Can I do the flowers on the seed pod side? When I began stitching 100 years ago, the practice was to move the hoop as little as possible, and other question is to put glass frame on or no glass. So the first thing about moving the hoop about, absolutely, you do whatever order you like. I'm sure I wasn't really thinking straight when I told you to move from one side to the other. Just keep the bit you're doing, but work the background before the foreground. Now, next bit of her question was, when she framed something, would she put a piece of glass over it? No, I wouldn't, because to me that's like an incubator for the bugs that love it. They look in there and they think it's great. You could only really have a glass frame if you have a framer who knows about absolutely sealing the piece in so it's totally bug proof, which is absolutely possible, but you want to be aware that it's got to be framed to a far higher standard than just jamming a piece of glass over the top. So Taffy Walker, who's doing the Muncaster bed hanging. Taffy, well done. I love seeing stitching the teaching videos, she says, especially now the ones on soft shading long and short and 3/4 stitch being featured. Every video gives me some how to do that is helping working the Muncaster monster. I'm loving the monster and the learning too. Thanks for the monster. There is a ton of soft shading in my future. I'm having a difficulty. My question is how to fit up 5 or more shades into a small space. I feel I must be doing something wrong. There's a lot of built-up thread on the back, and it seems that I either have too much space or not enough for the last colour. Any advice from you? Right, since you are currently adding the soft shading on the stocking, I thought my question might be well timed. Well, actually that's quite interesting because I've stitched the stocking in quite a sparse way. I haven't gone mad on the first stocking. The second stocking, I padded it and I actually added far more wool. I think don't be intimidated by the fact there are lots of shades, but remember when you move a colour down, say the first stitch in the first colour is 1 inch long, the first stitch in the second colour should be 1 inch long, and the first stitch in the third colour should be 1 inch long, but the variation of the shorter stitches is greater. So in the first layer it's long and 3/4, the second layer of colour it's long and half, and in the third layer of colour it can be 1 1/3 if you like. So it's really different, the long and the short, and that gives you a subtlety. So I hope that really answers your question, but I'm very happy to demonstrate again. But I think the most recent unicorn videos cover that. Are you paying attention, Richard? Do you agree or not agree? There's a pained expression of a man who really doesn't want to join in on any of this discussion because he will always be wrong with stitching, clearly. Last one. Hi Philippa, I'm stitching the medicine fire screen and I'm up to the grass on the hill. What stitch am I meant to do for this? I have only the colour picture on the cover of the stitch instructions. Ooh, why haven't you got the stitch instructions? I don't understand. So you'll have to maybe ask me again. Maybe you've lost the stitch instructions, or did you just buy the printed linen? I'm not quite sure. So we'll have to have a look at that, I think. You'll need to send a picture. Annalie, Christmas stocking colour advice. Absolutely, just this one more. Okay, one more then. Maybe one more or two. Okay, Christmas stocking colour advice. Absolutely love the colours from top to bottom in your white unicorn with pink toned hills. Any chance of having the colours you use for the background of the hills? I have just received my order from you and transferring the bottom. Great project, thank you very much. What a nice person she sounds. Honestly, I don't even know what colour I've used hardly. I'll try. Next time I talk about it, I'll try and find the colours. Okay, so wool tension, Kimberly. I'm getting my hands accustomed to working with Appletons before I move on to the bedspread. Ooh, she's doing the Muncaster bedspread. I tend to have a tight tension, please advise. Is this fine or do I need to work looser? In the frame it looks good, but I want to avoid puckers. I want to avoid puckers as well, Kimberly. I think that's a little bit of trial and error there, and perhaps work a small piece and take it on and off the frame and see where it goes and see just how tight. But if the frame is too loose, you won't hear that lovely tap of the needle going through. It needs to sound hollow, literally like a drum. One more? I keep saying one more. This is like children, isn't it? One more story. Right, YouTube, Lesionji Van Gomo, turkey stitching the mane and tail. She says, gorgeous. I would have loved to have watched you stitch the rest of the horse. Are you still going to add turkey stitching to the mane and tail? It looks like at the moment it is only Crewel stem stitches. You should recreate a forum of complete stockings on your website. Showcase the lockdown stockings or something to that effect. That's so full of good ideas there. I'm going to miss these daily tutorials. As I've said before, a weekly showcase of your different projects on lockdown would be great. Well, I think that's a brilliant idea. I think all ideas most welcome, and to be honest, I'm loving doing this. So, you know, the whole project's been a joy and continues to be, so I think we'll just have to continue, lockdown or no lockdown. Somebody else asking, Lisongi asks about, the same lady asks, or man, asks about the Glasgow bedspread. Would we be doing it again? How I wish the kit was still available. Oh, we've got one left. We found one. So it was a cancelled order, so we've got one. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that one. So perhaps you could, anybody who's interested, ask. But it certainly wouldn't come out for the next 3 months or so because we're very committed. And somebody else saying, would you please get on with writing a book? I think I'll try, but it's easier videoing, you know, it's much easier. Somebody, last one, Fiona, 22. I wonder if she's 22. Okay, I'm so enjoying your videos. They've become a highlight of my morning, and I watch you and the other cast members with my first cup of tea of the day here in Perth, West Australia. Of course, I now must try Crewel work. With international mail the way it is, I have ordered the inspiration book, which includes your hunt design, and I'm going to have a crack at kitting it out. I will need lots of luck, but I just adore this design. Thank you, and keep filming and chatting. I have to say, we do sell that as a complete kit, but also with the videos, you could actually buy the printed linen from us. I think would be an enormous help, because I know even experienced embroiderers, drawing it out yourself with just the outline, that is a very challenging kit. And as I've said before, I only did that and the restoration pillow kit for fun. I didn't realise it would be a really popular kit, so thank you to everybody that's involved in that. And perhaps Fiona 22 could look at our Facebook page and see other people and what they've done with it, because people have made an amazing job with that one. So I think that's all. I think the dog's gone to sleep down there, Richard. You see, she is bored to tears about chatting about Crewel work. Cheerio, everybody.